Hey guys, as folks are dialing in here, see a bunch of people joining. Welcome and really appreciate all of you guys taking the time to join our Impact Academy webinar for this month. If folks want to drop in where they're dialing in from in the chat, it'd be great to see where we've got folks coming in.
Wow, looks like we got quite the global group today.
Yeah, wow. Both US coasts, we've got Europe, we've got India, we've got South Dakota in the US, Canada. All right, I still see some people joining. Maybe we can give folks one more minute here, maybe 1 or 2 more minutes, just to let 2 more folks join, and then we can go ahead and get started. All right. Well, why don't we go ahead and get started? I still see some people joining, but yeah, I think we can go ahead and get the show on the road. So again, welcome to everyone who's joined. We're really excited to walk you guys through this month's Impact Academy webinar. Where we're going to walk all of you through the new ServiceNow Impact Store application. We'll walk you through how to get set up on it, as well as a demo of the actual application. So super excited to walk everyone through that today. Before we get started, just a couple of housekeeping items. Um, so we've saved some time for Q&A at the end. So there's a Q&A button at the bottom toolbar of your Zoom. So please use that button to submit questions instead of just in the chat. It'll make it a lot easier for us to keep track of your questions and make sure that we're able to answer them during the session. Two, the presentation is going to be recorded and shared after this event, so take a look out for that. It will be posted on YouTube as well as on the Impact community. And after the event, you'll be prompted to fill out a short survey. So please fill out the survey and really appreciate your feedback in advance. Your feedback is essential for us to make sure that we're able to have these events be as helpful as possible to all of you. Um, One more kind of housekeeping item, our safe harbor slide. So again, this presentation might have forward-looking statements that is based on the information that's available to us right as of today's date. roadmap items and the like. So we're required to say, hey, don't make any purchasing decisions purely based off of what you see in this presentation. So again, thanks for joining us. Just quickly introducing ourselves. So my name's Harsha. I'm an outbound product manager for ServiceNow Impact and been at ServiceNow for about 5 years. Excited to be with you guys here today, and I'll kick it over to Matt to introduce himself as well.
Thanks, Harsha. Hey, everyone. Thanks for joining today. I'm Matt Hong. I'm also an outbound product manager, working really closely with Harsha. Been at ServiceNow for almost 2 years. I'm really excited to take you through a quick demo towards the end of the store application. But I'll pass it back to you, Harsha.
Awesome. Thank you, Matt. All right, and one last thing quickly. Like I was alluding to, we have a very exciting schedule of events, webinars for all of you that happen throughout the year. Again, feel free to scan this QR code to see the schedule, and the link will be shared as well. But please, continue to join these events. We try our best to have helpful content for all of you to get the most out of your ServiceNow investment. So really excited for all of these events that we have for you guys. I see someone in the chat saying that they can't hear anything. Hopefully, that's just one person. Matt, can you hear my audio?
Yep, I can hear you. Oh, and looks like, yeah, everybody else or folks are commenting on chat as well.
Okay, perfect.
So yeah, I think for Kevin, maybe try rejoining the webinar. Maybe that'll help alleviate some of the issues that you're facing with the audio.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's go ahead and get started. So once again, so here's our agenda for today. Very quickly, initially, we'll walk you guys through just a little bit of an overview on what ServiceNow Impact is. I know a lot of you might be veterans, but for those of you who are new, hopefully we'll give you a little bit of a grounding on what Impact is. And even for those of you who are Impact veterans, it might give you a little bit of insight on some of what's new in case you haven't checked in lately. We'll walk you through the guided setup for getting set up on the Impact Store application. And then we will also walk you through a short demo of uh, all the different features that are available to you with the store application. All right, so getting right into it. So I think it's helpful to ground all of us first in a little bit of a thought on why we're here. So, organizations like yourselves are looking to transform their businesses with AI, with other technology, with software. But we tend to find that they end up being really slowed down by technical debt as well as a lack of expertise. You have a couple of interesting stats at the bottom. We see that 85% of CIOs want to transform orgs using AI, right? I think no surprise to anyone. But on the other hand, there's 6 trillion in growth in global technical debt over the last decade, and 15% of IT leaders say that that the workforce has the skills needed for the future. So there's a ton of demand, right, for digital and AI transformation, but as that's been happening, technical debt has really grown, and there's a clear skills gap when it comes to the skills needed to make the most out of this technology. And two, based on, the years of experience that we've had and all the customers that we've got, we see four, really big business transformation challenges that our customers are struggling with. So one is slow time to value with AI or other technology. It just takes too long to implement the technology that you've adopted. Two is a lack of expertise, right? So customers really want to achieve the business goals they want, but they need guidance, and the internal resources that they have don't necessarily have enough technical expertise to get there. Three is technical debt. A lot of times there's not the right governance in place, and that leads to manual workarounds and extra maintenance that ends up kind of building up over time. And eventually, companies are kind of forced to choose between net new innovation and maintaining existing things due to technical debt. And then the last one is a risk to continuity. I think everyone here can probably relate that technology now has become so mission critical to business operations that customers just can't risk downtime or performance degradation. So we built ServiceNow Impact with the express focus in mind of solving those four business transformation challenges. So again, ServiceNow Impact is the customer success product offering that we have here at the company, and it's a really cool combination of software and AI tools, as well as human-led expertise to help you get the most out of your ServiceNow investment. And you can see here a couple of great outcomes that some of our customers and your peers have been able to achieve with Impact, ranging from a 50% reduction in P1 support cases, being able to maintain more out-of-the-box capability by having stronger governance in place, or just being able to move faster and upgrade the platform faster. Um, I won't drain this slide, but this is a helpful overview, I think, of all the different things that Impact provides you. So the way that we think about it is in four big buckets. Uh, One is value and adoption. And so the way that I think about this is one, it helps you track and understand the ROI and business outcomes that you're getting from ServiceNow, whether it's to track for yourself or to show to your leadership. From an adoption perspective, it helps you understand what you've bought, what you're entitled to do, and if your people are using it or not. From an expertise and guidance perspective, it gives you access to people that you can ask for help. Um, Health and observability lets you understand, number one, if your platform is healthy or not, and what you can do to improve the health of it. And two, lets you understand how your platform is performing in real time. And then premium support gives you access to 24 by 7 support for anything that's broken, gives you the access to folks who can hopefully fix it. So I'll move on to demo our guided setup here for getting set up on the Impact Store application. I see some people putting things in the chat or raising their hands. Once again, just a quick reminder, if folks have questions, please drop them in the Q&A feature at the bottom of the Zoom chat. We'll do our best to try to either answer them as we go, or we have dedicated time at the end to go through all of your questions. So I'm going to grab the screen for a second here, Matt. All right. There we go. All right. Hopefully folks can see my screen. Just want to confirm, Matt, that you can see it. Awesome. Um, so I want to guide you folks through here how you can actually get started with the Impact Store application. So I'll start from the very beginning. The Impact Store application is found on the ServiceNow store. So you want to go to store.servicenow.com and search for Impact. And the application that you want to click on is just the one called Impact right here. So you want to click right here, and you'll end up clicking the Buy button. Just to clarify, if you're a existing paid Impact customer, there's nothing over and above that you need to purchase. It just says Buy here on the store. You're already entitled to the Impact Store application. It's included in your Impact subscription. So you'd want to go ahead and click Buy. And then accept the terms and conditions, and then that's all you need to do on the store. Once you do that, I'll pop over here to the ServiceNow workspace. So once you've acquired the application from the store, you want to click on the All button here and navigate over to your application manager. So with Application Manager, you can search for Impact right here. And initially, it might show up for you in the Available for You segment right here. For me, it's showing up in Installed because it's already installed in my demo instance here. So you want to click right here on Impact. Um, and in the event that you do need to update something, you can click Proceed to Update. If not, you can go ahead and click Configure, which will take you right into the guided setup process, which I'll walk you through here today. So you want to go ahead and click Continue and click Get Started. So before we get into the kind of main chunks of the guided setup, there's a pre-configuration check that you're going to have to go through. So you want to go ahead and click Start. And what this pre-configuration check is a health scan to make sure that you don't run into any issues with setting up Service Bridge. Now, Service Bridge is an application that connects your instance to the Impact Delivery instance, which is where the folks who you work with on your Impact squad, could be your customer success manager, a platform architect, other folks as well. Um, it allows you to kind of work with them and collaborate with them and connects your instance, the instance that they're working from. So that's what Service Bridge does. This makes sure that you don't run into any issues with Service Bridge when you're setting it up. So you want to go ahead and click Start Service Bridge Health Scan, which will pop us over here. Click Execute Suite Scan. Make sure full instance is selected and click Execute Scan. So this takes a couple seconds. You want to go ahead and click Go to Result. For me, I don't have any scan findings show up here. In the event that scan findings do show up for you, there will be links that show up here in the task column. So you'd want to go ahead and click those, which takes you to another view, which would give you instructions on and links to documentation, which could help you fix any potential issues that are going on in your scan findings. So once you've gone ahead and potentially resolved any issues that you have, if something does show up here, obviously, again, I don't have anything showing up here, you can move right back over to the guided setup. You can scroll to the bottom here and click this as complete. Now that this is complete, I can go back and now I can resume the rest of my guided setup. So the next step here is to register my instance and set up Service Bridge. So I can click Resume. I'll just walk you through this here. There's a couple of links here about learning a little bit more about what Service Bridge is. You can check out these links if you like. I'll mark this as complete. And what you want to do is go ahead and start the automated registration process. So you can click here for Create Provider Connection. Let's just give this a second here. All right. And you want to go ahead and click Save. And click Connect to Impact. Click OK. And this process sometimes takes a couple of minutes, but we can go ahead and let this keep running. One thing just to flag for everyone, you're able to connect Service Bridge to as many instances as you would like. So if you would like to begin this process first in a sub-production instance, you're more than welcome to do that before beginning it in a production instance. So I'll click Close. And let's just give this a couple minutes here. So right now it says not onboarded on the inbound and outbound status. What you want it to say is active replication. So I just reloaded the page. It says active replication, which means that my Service Bridge connection is now up and running to my instance. So I can go ahead and mark this as complete. And you can go ahead and that's all you need to do. You go ahead, you're all set. You can see the connection number here. You can see that it's an active replication status. And this would show the link to your ServiceNow instance. So I can go ahead and mark this as complete. And then the next step, which it takes me directly to, is to initiate a data migration. This step takes typically about 10 to 15 minutes to let you guys know what it is. It's basically migrating all of the data from the Impact portal, the old Impact portal, into your instance. So I can sit here, I can click Start Data Migration um, right here. This is initiating a new data migration, and I can track the progress here on an ongoing basis. Again, because this process takes 10 to 15 minutes, I won't walk through the entire process here. But just so you guys know, it takes a couple minutes, but these data fields here will update in real time. There's about 37 tables that will get migrated over, and it will kind of happen in real time. And you'll see the records populate here. You can see the percentage complete. Just give it a couple minutes here to show. But that's kind of how the process works. Again, this process typically takes 10 to 15 minutes, but typically customers are able to get 37 tables migrated over without any issues. Yeah, right here you can see the table starting to migrate over, and you can see the different tables and the status right here. You can even sort this by percentage complete, so you can see what's complete and what's not. So again, I won't wait until this whole process is finished here for the demo today. But I will walk you through the final step of the guided setup process. So you can actually do this while this is going on. The last is to set up your users. So you can click start, and so folks know, all of the user groups that you had in the old Impact portal are actually migrated over here. So you have all the same user groups migrated over. And all you need to do is assign the specific users to the group that you'd like. So let's say I want to add someone to the Impact App Admin group. I can go ahead and click on that here. Um, I can go ahead and click Edit. And you can see I've got two people already added, but I can go ahead and say add a couple more folks on my team who I want to make sure have access to Impact in the app admin role. Click Save, and you can see that they've been added here as well. Um, Same thing here. If you'd like to, you can add folks to other group roles as well. Depends exactly on what you'd like to do. So I can go ahead and mark this one as complete. And you can take a look at all the folks who are you work with on your Impact squad. You can mark this as complete as well. And again, it won't let me mark this as complete because the sync is still going on. But once that's complete, you would go over to workspaces and you would see the Impact workspace automatically populate right here. And you can click there and navigate directly to the Impact Store application, which Matt will take you through the demo for shortly. So hopefully that's a helpful overview of how the guided setup works. Again, typically the whole process takes somewhere between 15 to 20 minutes in total. Uh, Hopefully it's super simple. And just so folks are aware as well, we do have a concierge program up and running to uh, help you get up and running with the store application in the event that you do run into any snags or have any questions. So please reach out to your customer success manager and ask them about the concierge program to get set up on the store app if that's something that you're interested in. So I will go ahead and stop sharing my screen and kick it over to you, Matt.
Great. Yeah. Harsha, thanks for walking through that. Just before I jump into the store application, I do see some questions in the chat, wondering if you could answer them live, Harsha. I think there's some questions around if the store application works with instances of GCC
Yeah.
or in FedRAMP instances. Would you be able to answer that live?
Yeah, definitely. So the answer to, yeah, I see the question here for GCC. The answer is yes. The squads do have an instance that is inside of the GCC boundary. So you should be all set from that perspective. Does the data import go against your database storage quota? I don't know the answer to that, but we can try to find the answer to that one. And then with the roles, no, there are no limits to how many people you can add. You have an unlimited number of users that you can add to any of the impact roles. Um, cool.
Awesome. All right. Okay. So I'll take things over from here. Once again, thank you, Harsha, for walking us through guided setup. So, like he said, after you finish the steps, take the 15-20 minutes through guided setup. The end, you'll be left with a workspace that looks kind of like this one that we see right here. So let's say that I'm a platform owner and I'm excited to get started on Impact and ServiceNow, really interested in how I can execute a Gen AI roadmap for my business. So Impact is a workspace that is now built on the platform, and it should contain all the tools and dashboards necessary to help accelerate your ServiceNow journey. Here we're at the homepage. This is a kind of a one-stop shop area where you as a platform owner can initiate a conversation with your Impact squad. You can learn about Impact and the various benefits that we have, recommendations on what to do next, as well as curated content, such as this office hours as well that you'll see here, to help you alongside the journey. So the first thing that we want to show you as part of the store application is the ability to set top-line goals and objectives. So before, as you may have gone through this process when you were talking to account managers, was setting up success. What does success look like when it comes to ServiceNow? Well, within Impact, we provide a set of tools to help you track and measure your success on the ServiceNow platform. So based on the products that you own, Impact can automatically suggest common business objectives, like this one that we see here on increasing employee productivity. It's a pretty common one that a lot of our customers are currently using ServiceNow to help improve. So this will be our North Star as we continue along our ServiceNow journey, is that everything that we should be doing regarding our platform should be in service of increasing employee productivity. Down below here, you'll see a list of the metrics that feed into this objective. So several of these, like reducing disruption from incidents, this is a success metric that we can use to tie into supporting this overall objective. When I select on this outcome, can actually track the performance over time. Oops, sorry. Click here. There we go. When I select the outcome, can actually track the performance over time here and see what ServiceNow capabilities down below here are actually influencing this outcome, including ones that I'm not using today. So the big benefit here is we're able to pull in live product data into these metrics, because again, it's all within the same platform. We are able to pull from performance analytics and pull that data in here so that we can actually track in real time how you are trending with these specific outcomes. So here, this is related to the product ITSM, but of course, there are other capabilities part of this that could help improve and influence this outcome. One that we see here is Now Assist for ITSM, which currently says that it is not in use. So this is something kind of interesting that we would love to check out as a potential growth area that we should be implementing as part of our business. When I click into that capability, can also see a list of all the capabilities that I've purchased with ServiceNow and what we call the capabilities map. So this shows all the products, capabilities that my company has purchased here. And I can see an overview here of the adoption status for all of those capabilities. On the right-hand side here, my impact squad, so those tailored experts who are helping me alongside this journey, they can also recommend some capabilities for me to examine that are directly personalized towards the objectives that I personally care about. But when I scroll down here, we'll be able to see all the capabilities that I have owned and entitled to, broken up by workflow as well as by product. So when I scroll down to technology workflow and to ITSM, you can see that same capability that we saw in that metric analysis for ITSM. It's currently not in use, but is recommended for my squad to leverage. So this is going to inform me that, all right, this is probably a good capability for me to start implementing, get started on using AI and improving those metrics that I care about as a business, as a platform owner. But oftentimes it can be a little bit more of a complex way to figure out how to actually implement product. So I need to find some direction on what to prioritize and how to move forward. That's where I can navigate to product adoption roadmaps. My Impact Squad has actually custom tailored this specific roadmap that we see here to align with those outcomes that I've defined earlier. Here, I receive a very clear step-by-step roadmap for the sequence of implementation. And I can also see the adoption status for each one of these capabilities. This guided path helps me move forward confidently. And I know that this plan is tailored specifically to my unique needs and objectives and provides feasibility on how to enable Gen AI for my business, right? It's not possible for us to immediately start implementing Now Assist. There are lots of features and capabilities that we need to implement and test and make sure are working properly before we jump into, the next bright, shiny object that's out there. So I'm going to get my team together. We're going to work on implementing these foundational capabilities that we see here in phases 1 and 2. But before pushing any changes to production, let's say that we've started working on this, pushed it into a sub-production environment. We want to make sure that we don't add any additional technical debt to our production environment. So one of the tools that we also include within Impact is the ability to check our code for any potential technical debt before it reaches a production environment. So here I'm able to see we have a few findings that we scanned in terms of the update sets within our sub-production environments. Some of them that we can resolve, some that we haven't quite yet. But what I can do is I can view all these findings. These are areas that Impact has identified for me that are either anomalies or issues that could be problems once they reach a production environment. If I click into one of these findings that Impact has identified for me, I get a list of the full description on what's going wrong here, what best practice am I not following, and I also can have a link to documentation so that I can remediate and fix this issue before it reaches a production environment. Here exactly it tells me, all right, I should replace this with a different term here and a different function altogether. So let's say that I've implemented all of these changes in my sub-production environment, pushed the changes to my production environment, and now I'm actually ready to implement Now Assist, that third step in my roadmap. So I'm going to head back to Impact, to my homepage here, and I see actually a few recommendations on here that my squad as well as AI can push towards me. The first one here is for Instance Observer. So this is a tool that all Impact customers get access to. It's our real-time observability tool that's there to help improve platform performance. We're not going to go into this today. We do have a lot of assets out there and tools and resources to help you get started on Instance Observer. But what I'm going to do is, since I want to work on this soon, but I'm kind of more focused on getting AI up and running, I'm going to convert this into a work item in strategic portfolio management so I can action on this later. The second recommendation that I see here is all about AI accelerators. So accelerators are fixed scope engagements that are delivered by our ServiceNow squad that will help you adopt certain products learn best practices, and understand top use cases based on a specific product or area of opportunity that you have. When I click in here, be able to see the different types of accelerators that we offer. We offer a catalog of over 100, I believe now, across three key areas from architecture, strategy, and technical, all geared towards helping you solve a specific problem or answer specific questions. So in the case of me right now, I'm interested in analysis for ITSM. So I'm going to select this one that I see here around jumpstarting my AI agents for ITSM. And here, what I will do is I'll have a coaching session with my squad members. They'll provide me an overview as well as a demo of AI for ITSM. They'll show me how to enable it, provide me with key resources and guides, and they'll actually clone my instance, showing my data in there and showing how AI agents could work to improve my workflows in there. So once I complete this accelerator, I'll have the inspiration and know-how on how to get started on using AI agents for ITSM independently. So that's a quick overview of what the store application provides you access towards. It's a lot around being able to get started and get to value even faster than before, all within the same workspace and platform that you run all of your other pieces of the ServiceNow platform. So I did see a question around what is the advantage between this and versus kind of our old Impact portal, and it's very much that. It's the benefit is that there's only one login and one place where you can access all of your ServiceNow capabilities, and having those side by side allows for a lot more synergy rather than having them separately. So with that, I'll pass it back to Harsha to close us out. Please feel free to drop questions in the Q&A area. But yeah, Harsha, I'll pass it back to you to take us home.
Awesome. Right. Awesome. So again, with that, we'll close out with this. So the purpose of Impact really is to help you get the most out of ServiceNow, right? So we give you the digital tools, the software, and the access to expertise that you need to get to value fastest. Uh, Hopefully, it's been helpful to see the setup today and the demo today of how to get started on the Impact Store application and some of the cool things that you can do in it. And there's a couple of QR codes here that take you to the community to learn more about Impact. If you'd like to check out ServiceNow University and check out some of the self-service training and certifications we've got a link here. And then if you're looking for more kind of hands-on kind of implementation work, that's you can check out this QR code to learn more about expert services as well. So with that, we'll open the floor for questions. I'll go through what I see here in the chat as well as the Q&A. And again, folks, please use the Q&A feature here. So I see a lot of questions around GCC, FedRAMP. Is the store app available for the customers who are in those environments? The answer is yes, it is. And then I see a question around the location where the delivery instance is hosted. So it's hosted in the US. Um, I think I see Chris Mario. Chris, good to hear from you. I think we met a couple weeks ago. A specific question around whether the squad instance is hosted inside the specific GCC ATO boundary unique to their instance. We can get an answer, specific answer for you on that one. So I can follow up with you offline there. I see some questions here around whether the original Impact portal is going to be retired. So it won't be retired. That said, all of the net new features that we're releasing for Impact are going to be exclusively released for the store application. So that's one of the other reasons as well that we would encourage folks to download, set up the store app, and get kind of familiar with it as soon as they're comfortable. And once again, we do have a concierge program that we're running where we're happy to kind of help you get the app configured, help you answer any questions that you might have about it. So definitely reach out to your customer success managers about it if that's something that interests you. Um, let's see here. So I have a question here about if you're a business head and not an IT person, what business impact would you see from ServiceNow Impact? What real life business problems will I solve? Great question. Hopefully you were seeing the kind of value journey, objectives, outcomes, and insights that Matt was showing during the demo. But that would probably be the biggest kind of area for you that would be interesting. So again, kind of in plain English, what that helps you do, what those features help you do is track the actual ROI, track the actual business outcomes, right? From like, hey, I'm reducing my mean time to resolution by this much, or I've reduced the onboarding time for an employee by this much, right? Like it helps you track specific outcomes that you're achieving with ServiceNow right within the Impact portal, or right within the Impact app. And for if you're kind of a business head, that could be really interesting to you. I assume maybe your senior leaders are asking for that type of information. So you can actually look at that information, show them the dashboards within Impact, or if you'd like to export it into a PowerPoint or Excel, you're able to do that as well. And you're able to share that type of information internally or with your leaders or just track it on your own. So hopefully that helps answer your question. I see a question here about instance observability and how that's different from instance scan. So, great question. So, instance scan, I would actually compare that a little bit more to the health scan feature that's within Impact. So Instant Scan is, I think, said simply, more of a self-serve kind of lighter feature. Health Scan gives you access to a much broader library of definitions, and so folks are available. So folks are aware. Folks might have seen that we acquired a business called Bravium a few months ago, and so we're actually currently in process of re-platforming all of the capabilities that Bravium have onto Impact. And so it's actually going to be part of a broader effort to make the health scan capabilities and proactive code check capabilities even more powerful going forward. So we'll hopefully have that up and running and released for you guys by the end of the year. Instance Observer is more of a real-time observability feature that allows you to see, real-time uptime, downtime, performance metrics for how your instance is doing right now versus, health scan or any kind of scan is something that you can kind of do on your own to kind of have a point in time view of the health of your instance, whereas Instance Observer is kind of real-time uptime, downtime. So hopefully that helps there. I see a question around transferring specific customer metrics configured on platform analytics to the Impact IDI. Um, I'm not sure if I fully understand that question. So if whoever asked that could maybe add a little bit more color, that would be helpful. Will the data pulled be shared outside of the impact analysis? I- I'm not sure if I fully understand that question. If you're referring to what I was talking about before with regard to outcomes information, um, I mean, the data that you're seeing show up in like the value journey outcomes only shows up with an impact. So you guys have it. The way that that information gets pulled in is via value management plugins. Those plugins are automatically downloaded for you when you download the Impact Store app. You do need to go in and activate those plugins. There's a few KBs for you available on the product documentation page that can show you how to do that. But no, like the dashboard that you see in Impact don't automatically get shared outside of Impact, if that's the question. Great comment, Remy. Agreed with your comment there. That's right. IO is about the infrastructure in and around the platform, and HealthScan is more about the health and content within the platform of yeah, business rules, code, stuff that you've got running on your instance. All right. Any other questions? Uh, Once again, I think we did answer this question live, but so the question is, will the impact.servicenow.com portal be retired and require us to use this application? So no, the old portal is not going to be retired. Um, it'll still be available. That said, like I was saying earlier, um, all new features that we're releasing for Impact will only be for the Impact Store application. So, in order to get all the new innovation that we're releasing, you would have to install and set up the Impact Store app. But uh, the old portal will not be retired anytime soon. All right. Well, I'll give folks maybe a couple more minutes here. I know we do still have about 10 minutes left here on the webinar, so happy to give folks more time to drop in some questions. Let's see here. Um, Tharn, I see your question around your budget constraints around impact. So that's a question that I would encourage you to talk about with your account executive to see, if there's something that they could do that would make sense around the price point or some kind of cost scenario. I think as far as proof of concepts or limited trial versions, that's not something that we necessarily have available off the shelf. But yeah, if you're concerned about cost, I would encourage you to talk with your account executive about that. Um, if you install, use, and cancel the Impact service, how should we proceed? Um, yeah, if you are an Impact customer and you set up the store application, you use it for a while, and then you choose to no longer move forward, then obviously you wouldn't be able to access the Impact workspace any longer. Once you no longer are a paying Impact customer. That's right, Chris. I see your question in there. That is correct. Yeah, for folks who are concerned about Service Bridge, you are able to still install the Impact app onto your instance, and you could choose not to configure Service Bridge if you'd like. That does, just so folks are aware, limit some of the capabilities that are available to you. In particular, you wouldn't really be able to collaborate with your Impact squad. Um, but that is true that you are able to install the app and you can use some of the features without configuring Service Bridge. Um, yes, this session is being recorded. It'll be available both on the community as well as the YouTube page for ServiceNow. And then Elba, I see your question around how you know if you're paying for impact. So if you're unsure about that, I would just reach out to your account executive. Yes, that's right. So customers need to be, so the question is Service Bridge required with the Yokohama release? So in order to taking a step back, in order to use the Impact Store application, customers need to at least be on Xanadu patch 2 or Yokohama. And yes, in order to get the full capabilities that are involved with the Impact application, you do need to configure Service Bridge. But as I was saying earlier, it's not completely mandatory. You can still access parts of what the Impact app does, but in order to get kind of the full capabilities and value out of it, we would highly encourage you to set up Service Bridge. Yeah, so I see Gareth, you had a great question here. With the new Impact app, do we have anything available to proactively check or remove technical debt? For example, code checks and potential customizations or risks in our instance that may not align with out-of-the-box features. So, great question. So that is the proactive code check feature that you guys hopefully saw in Matt's demo. Um, Again, the way that works is it allows you to effectively scan your update sets to help remove potential technical debt that you would be pushing into production before you do. So that's exactly what the proactive code check feature does. And once again, with the acquisition of Bravium, we're going to be making those code checking features even more powerful, even more real time going forward. So very, very excited for you guys to be able to benefit from that at the end of this year. So Louise, I see your question here. Yeah, on the store, the app that you want to download is just called Impact. I can go back and actually, yeah, why don't I share my screen here just so folks can see? Um, so it's just this Impact right here. Um, So that's the application that you want to download on the store. Everything else that you need gets downloaded automatically once you get this application. So Anton, I see your question about what about all the impact value management stuff? So again, hopefully folks saw it in Matt's demo, but um, value journeys are available in the Impact Store application. You're able to track all of the objectives, outcomes, and the data associated with them right within the Impact Store application. The only step involved is setting up the value management plugins. Um, but yes, all of the value management features that were available on the old portal are fully migrated over to the Impact Store application. And Anton, I'm sending you a KB here as well that gives you a little bit more information on setting up the data collection apps. Mhm. All right. Great questions, everyone. Really appreciate all of your participation. We've got 5 more minutes here. We can certainly keep going. I see folks keep dropping. Folks have been dropping in some great questions, so happy to keep going here. So Louise, I see your question here. I don't know if I fully follow, but once you get the Impact app from the store, you would need to go to your application manager in your workspace and then search for Impact, and then you can uh, install the app on your instance from there. Jose, I see your question. Can you access Instance Observer from the Impact application? Um, so great question. So Instance Observer is an off instance app, right? And what that means is the reason for that is that if you are having an instance down situation, you'll still be able to access Instance Observer and try to triage and understand, what is going on. So Instance Observer, you're not able to see it like directly within the Impact workspace itself on your instance, but there's a link that takes you to a different tab that takes you to Instance Observer. So you can access it within Impact. The workspace for Instance Observer itself is separate from within the Impact application, if that makes sense. What's the tab with the link? Yeah, great question, Jose. So, um, actually, Matt, if you still have the demo up, it might be easier to show it visually. Um,
Yeah. Yeah, so Instance Observer lives separately from the Impact Store application as well as the workspace in general. And the reason for this is in case, if your production instance goes down or if something happens, you'll still be able to track your instance health. So let me just quickly log in and show you what the experience looks like. Yes, but it does live separately from the store application. Here, once you log in, you'll be able to have customizable knock dashboard at the front to customize and see the metrics and widgets that are most important to you and your business at the moment. And then, of course, we have our tabs for helping you track historical performance alerts so you can proactively catch issues before they arise and then also triage in case there are any issues at the moment. In the present day, you can triage and take a look at all the transactions and jobs for the instances that you do have right now. But yes, it does live separately from Impact.
Thanks, Matt. And then,
First,
and yeah, but you can access it via the platform health tab. It'll just take you to the new tab that Matt showed you. Um, all right. Well, I think we're almost at time here. I wanna thank everyone for joining here. Oh, I see one last question here. So, customer can Instance Observer feed data into the outages table in my instance? Um, Good question. I don't know the answer to that, but we can try to get the answer to you and send it back around offline. All right. Well, thanks again, folks. I know we're at time here, so really appreciate all of the active participation and the questions. Um, hopefully it's been as helpful to you as your questions and feedback have been for us. So again, really appreciate you guys taking the time. And again, we have these Impact Academy webinars every month. So really appreciate all of your participation and attendance. So thanks again, everybody, and enjoy the rest of your Wednesday.
Thanks, everyone.